Hello.
How you doing?
Good man. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. Thank you.
Okay. First, of all, I just want to start off with obviously I'm like not the most knowledgeable person. I'm not like a professional debater or anything. I'm just a young man just studying right now. But like I have a nice common amount of knowledge, like common ground.
Good. Okay. That's
And
something I can work with.
sorry,
That's
what are you
some
saying?
that's something I can work with.
All right. And second thing I want to say is like I respect you a lot as like you always like I watch your debates frequently and you always talk with respect. Unlike Sam Shimon. Sam
Come
Shimon's
on, man. You know, I can't. You started off good, but you used this opportunity to try to take a shot at Sam, man.
no, no. I just want to say like
None of that,
I
bro.
respect the
No,
way you do
I
things.
appreciate that. Then just leave it at that. You ain't got to take a shot at nobody else. just leave it at
It's not
that.
really a shot.
That is a shot.
Would
So
you disagree with me?
yeah, I disagree with you. I love how Sam does things. All right. So is he flawed? Sure. He knows that. He's a hater. You know, he's a hater and a loser. You know, but I love how he does things, man. I love it. I love how he does things. Now, what do you have to bring today?
So I read the title. I'm guessing is "Proof Jesus was Muslim for $2,200," but I don't really care
Okay.
about the money, to be honest.
Okay, maybe I
So
can give it to a mosque or a masjid or something like that.
whatever you want, but okay. So first things first, let's cover the basis on the literal definition of the term Muslim. You know what that is? I'm assuming you do. Obviously, it's submitting his will to God.
Submitting your will to God. Okay.
Yeah. So, do you deny that Jesus submit his will to God?
Can we break down what you mean by that first before I answer that?
Uh, sure. How do you want to break it down?
If I say I submit my will to God, but the God that I'm talking about is a tree in my backyard that I submit to and worship, and I call God.
Okay, submitting your will to the one true God. Because do you believe that
There we
the
go.
God of Muslims, the God of Muhammad, is the same God of Abraham, the same God as Moses?
Absolutely not.
You don't then agree with that.
No. And through this conversation, you'll see what this is actually why I say Jesus is not a Muslim, because I what I see is that Jesus believed in a different God than what we find in Islam. So that's
God?
why I was like, when you ask, do I believe that Jesus submitted to God? I needed to preface that before I answered it, because I do. I believe he submitted to God, but not the God that you're talking about.
All right. So, who can you explain who the God I'm talking about is?
Yeah. So, like for example, Allah of the Quran, some key characteristics of him. He is not a trinity, right? He's absolutely singular in his essence.
Wasn't that the same as the Moses' God or Abraham's God?
No,
They weren't. It wasn't a triune God.
No, he's triune. Yeah, he's triune. I can show you that later on, depending on how this conversation goes. I'd love to show you that. But
we'll go over that later. But go on.
So Allah is not triune. Allah doesn't beget, nor is he begotten. Right?
Yeah.
He's not a father in any sense to anyone. Everybody's just his servants, right? His slaves. Right?
Yeah.
And he has no partners. There's no companions, none of that. He's not equal to anybody. There's nobody like him. So these are just some key characteristics that are identifiers of Allah that we can point out. So
which one do you disagree with, though?
I disagree with the one that he has no that God has no sons, that he doesn't beget. Okay. Yeah.
But is it a characteristic of God to have children?
According to Jesus, yes. This is why I say he can't be a Muslim, because he's talking about a different God than what I see in the Quran. Okay.
But right now, since obviously God throughout all of time did not change, like the God from Adam is the same as the God of Abraham, is the same as God of Moses, and same with God of Jesus, same with God of Muhammad.
Not of Muhammad.
Like I always. You disagree with that, but I agree with that. But for the argument's sake, let's talk about it.
Yeah, he always had a son, always.
Okay. So was this son ever mentioned, like in the old? I know there was prophecies about Jesus, so a lot of prophecies fulfilled.
Yeah,
but
yes, he's mentioned in the Old Testament. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And in Aramaic, the
Hebrew
definition, and Hebrew, the definition of father is Abba, and it has two contexts to it: a familial context and a higher power context. And I believe, at least, the term Abba in like the Old Testament or the New Testament, whenever it is being used, it's referring to a higher power, if that makes sense.
Well, well, they used it for their family, but yes, they called God their father. God was their father.
Would you agree the fact that Abba or father would have two contexts in Hebrew?
No, I would just say that the word father in general just has, it depends on who you're talking to or what context, has a sense of the word in which he is a father to that particular person. So, and Abba, you can have your, an adoptive Abba, spiritual Abba, or a literal begotten Abba, So, but the word is the same regardless. It's father. Just there's different senses of who what a father can be, or how they're a father.
So you disagree with the fact that Abba was used or referred to like a higher context as well?
No, you're missing it. Abba is not it's not like some word exchanged for God, for example. That's
Yeah,
not. It's
it
not.
wasn't a word exchange for God.
Yeah.
It was just
So
it
you
was a
have
common phrase used. Sorry, go on.
You have Eloha, which is God,
Mhm.
and you have Abba, which is Father, right?
Yeah.
And so they called him his father. He identified and revealed himself as their father, and that
To Moses.
he's yes.
So like in the Old Testament, God revealed himself not as like Ilah or Ilahi or anything. It was just
Revealed himself as
Abba.
he revealed himself as both. He revealed himself as God, and he revealed himself as their father.
And that is in the Old Testament.
Yeah, that's in the Torah, brother.
Yeah. Okay, but like from what I read, honestly, like I didn't really dig much deep into the older languages and all that. Like as I said, I'm just going through university right now.
Mhm.
Don't have as much time as I'd like.
Mhm.
But from what I saw that Abba was also used to refer to a higher power. It's just like because they're two contexts, as I said earlier.
Well, that's incorrect, because it sounds like what you're saying is, I mean, I don't even know what you even are meaning anymore. Are you saying that Abba is used for a higher power? Are you saying that the word Abba is just exchanged for the word God? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not. It's not just exchange for the word God, but it's like let's say a simile or like a metaphor, used to describe like
Their
calling.
relationship with God.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So God is their father in some sense. Yes.
In like I guess in
But
particular.
Allah's not a father at all in any sense.
Look, in Islam, we don't believe God is a father in the sense where he has children.
No, you don't believe it.
Or
You don't believe he's a father in any sense.
and then yeah, like but I guess in the sense where he is the creator of all is similar to how a father is like the creator of his children.
Yeah, but you don't
But we
believe that. That's what I'm saying. You believe he's creator, but you do not believe he's father. Like you like
we don't believe he's a literal father. Yeah.
No, stop saying literal. You do not believe as a Muslim that Allah is a father at all in any sense. Literal, metaphorical, figurative, analogically, anecdotally, you do not believe as a Muslim that Allah is a father in any sense. It doesn't matter how you mean it. In no meaning is Allah a father.
Okay.
So to say otherwise would be going outside of Islam. That's my point.
To say otherwise would be going outside of Islam. Why would saying it metaphorically, saying like he is, since he is our creator, metaphorically he's like our father? Why would that be?
So, for example,
incorrect?
I got you, brother. So in chapter 7, verse 100, verse 180 of the Quran.
Okay, wait, hold on. Chapter. Let me open that. 7 verse. Surah Araf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go on.
So it says, And the most beautiful names belong to Allah. So call upon him by them and leave
Yeah.
the company of those who belie or deny his names, right? Or deviate. That's what the word is in Arabic, is those who deviate from his names. They will be requited for what they used to do. So Allah has names that he revealed, right? And
Yeah.
you are to
Then,
call upon him by those names. And
yeah.
to deviate from those names, you're due for a punishment. Father is not
Okay.
one of those names.
Yeah.
So to identify him as Father in any way, you're deviating and therefore will be due for a punishment if you do that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. As a Muslim, you cannot believe in any way, shape, or form that Allah is a father or refer to him as such. It's wrong to do so Islamically.
Okay, yeah. To be honest, like as I said earlier, I'm not that
No,
knowledgeable about this.
yeah, we just talking, man. It's all good. We just talking. That's something, something new to think about. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
So
I never really thought of God as a father in any sense, but I was thinking about it like not twisting words, but like using it, seeing metaphorically, I guess.
You was trying to twist it. You trying to twist the words.
I was just I was trying to like not literally twist the words.
I got him. It'll slipped out.
Because my original point was back then Abba was used for a higher power. But okay, sure. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
So this is my point. My point is that since this goes against Islam, right? So for Jesus, when he prayed and he said he came to do the will of the one who sent him, his Father, he prayed, calling God his Father. He said he's the Son of God, right? Who came down from heaven. All of these things shows that his beliefs do not line up with Islam and therefore is not a Muslim.
But I view his beliefs to can we forget the father part for now and then look at the rest of his beliefs, or do you want to stick to that?
Sure, we can move on to other beliefs. Sure.
Okay, so from Jesus's beliefs, I believe he followed like Islamic beliefs in the sense Jesus didn't eat pork. Jesus fasted. When Jesus prayed, he prostrated to the ground, put his head on the floor.
Let's wait. Hold on. Do not mention. So when you talk about praying and stuff, you cannot bring that up because remember it matters who you're praying to, right?
Yeah.
So if he's prostrating to his Father, that doesn't line up with Islam. So don't use that as an example. Let's bring up something else.
The example I was trying to use is the way he prayed is more similar to how Muslims prayed.
No, that's how Orthodox Christians pray. They prostrate.
They prostrate. They put their hand on the floor, prostrate.
Yes.
Is that just the Orthodox that do that?
No, all Christians do it. They just it's more customary in Orthodox Christianity, and also in the Ethiopian church too.
Okay, to be honest, I didn't know that, but and when
but you mentioned his diet. You mentioned his diet. He doesn't eat pork.
Didn't eat pork.
So let's talk about Jesus' diet. If it matches the diet of a Muslim.
It was also matched the diet of a Jew. I know that.
Right.
Because he was a Jew who followed Jewish traditions.
Exactly. So as a Jew, for example, he didn't eat camel. But in Islam, camel is allowed. Yeah, it's allowed.
Yeah.
So Jesus's diet doesn't even match that of a Muslim, right?
Yeah, I mean not necessarily.
So
it did match up.
To have one similarity, bro, doesn't mean that this shows that he's falling in the lines of Islam.
No, but then
go ahead.
Look, the core rules I believe that all the messengers got would always follow, but then the other smaller minor rules could change throughout time. For the period it comes to, correct?
You said the minor rules? So are you saying that?
For time and place.
Are you saying that diet is a minor rule?
in terms of the camel meat in ancient Arabia, they didn't have much. Like they were limited to their foods. Would
So
you
what?
agree with that?
Not really, but let me even grant like that doesn't have anything to do with this. If you're saying, are you saying that that dietary laws are minor and can be changed in time?
Not necessarily minor, but to each place and to each time, those minor rules could possibly not minor. Those secondary rules could change. I'd consider the first rules the most important rule is one God, pray to one God, like Tawheed.
But it's about who that God is. Then, if you're talking about the major rules, it's about worshiping and praying to the true God, who Jesus
Okay.
says is his Father. So if he has a different identity of who God is that literally goes against Islam, then it's the end of it right there. Who cares how he ate or even how he fasted? If his identity, if his concept of God conflicts with Islam, that's where it matters, right?
Yeah.
And which we see it does. He says he's the Son of God.
And other than the Father, what differs what you consider the Father to what I consider like the one and only God?
Other than him having a begotten son,
Like yeah, other than that, like is there any major differences between them, would you say?
yeah, there's a huge difference. Yeah, absolutely.
Like what?
So for example, this is what Jesus says. Let's go to what Jesus says here. All right. So Jesus says here that for as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, so also the Son gives life to whoever he wants. For the Father judges no one, but has given all judgment to the Son, that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. And whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. So another huge difference is not just that the Father has a begotten Son, but that this Son is the one who judges. This Son gives and raises life whenever he wants to whoever he wants. And he is to be honored the same way, to the same extent that the Father is honored, which means through worship, service, prayer, and adoration. So the same way you honor God, the Father, is the same way you're supposed to honor the Son. That is a huge difference. Wouldn't you say?
That is a huge difference, but which is why I don't take the Bible to be credible, because I don't believe that is a genuine true law that was given to Jesus.